Hello everyone, welcome to your weekly pick a card reading for Monday the 12th to Sunday the 18th of June, or for whenever you come across these messages. They'll be the forecast for the next 7 days. Thank you for joining me. Thank you if you're a newcomer. Thank you if you're returning. It's such a pleasure to do these readings for you. Let's get started. Okay everyone, we have pole number 1, pole number 2, pole number 3 and pole number 4. I'm going to use my beautiful stones again. I'm sorry if it gets a bit boring, but I'm just loving them at the moment. Let me turn that around. And there we go, my friends. So take your time to select a pile or piles that you are drawn to. Pause the video if you need to, and just take your time. Allow your eye to be drawn by either a stone, a pile number, or one of the beautiful images on the cards. I love these cards actually for a pick a card because they really help you to just see an image and feel drawn to it. I'll see you in just a moment. Welcome, pole number 1. Let's have a look at what messages Spirit has for you this week. We have the Queen of Wands, we have the Tower, and we have the 7 of Pentacles. Overall energy, we have Voyage, and we have Ascend. Wow. Just going to move that over a little bit. We have Faith, and we have Time Travelers. Wow. Pole number 1, there's a real sense of travel here. Now, this can be physically traveling somewhere, like going on a voyage and traveling, but I'm getting the much stronger sense here that the voyage that you'll be taking is to kind of like a new level of understanding in your life, a new level of awareness, like you're ascending. You've got time travelers and you've got voyage, kind of like this voyage into an unknown aspect of yourself, an undiscovered aspect of yourself. So basically it's always been there, but you've never tapped into it. So pole number 1, this could really speak of a calling, a purpose, a natural gift or ability that you have that you might not even be aware of, or because it comes naturally, because it's always been part of who you were or are, you've discounted it in some way. I'm not saying that you've dismissed it, you've just never seen it as anything as important, or not even important. Thank you, Spirit. Spirit's telling me it's not that. It's not that you don't see it as important, or it's just that you don't see the potential in it. You don't see where it could lead, or how it could help others, or what even you could do with it. It's a really interesting energy because I feel like, well, not that I feel like, but Spirit's showing me images. Like I've got the impression that I've got a lot of images in front of me, yet I can't actually focus or see any of them. It's quite, and I'm like, I'm trying to focus on, I know you're putting images in front of me, Spirit, but I can't see any of them. Like if you were to ask me, oh, what image are you seeing? I'd be like, I don't know, but I know there's stuff there. And I think that's a Spirit's way of showing me where you find yourself. I feel like you're searching, pole number 1, searching for something. And Spirit's telling me it's right there in front of you. And I don't think that you're unwilling to see it. I don't think that you can't see it. I think that it's just something that is so obvious to you that you just don't see its value, so you don't see it. Spirit just said to me, it's hiding something in plain sight. I'm going to leave that with you, but Spirit's calling me to come to this voyage card. And that's what this voyage is. This overall energy. I feel like you're searching for something. Now with the Ascend card, I feel like that's what you're, not what you're heading towards, but I feel that it's in this awakening, in this ascension, that you'll actually find what you're looking for. So this is Spirit's, basically this Ascend card is Spirit's way of telling me that you're going outside of you to look for something that is inside of you. Now, this triggers me, and I'm sure it probably triggers you, pole number 1, and that's why you're finding yourself with this message. Because when we automatically look for things in the outside world. When we're searching for something, we search outside of ourselves, and that is our humanness. We can see the world, we can touch it, we can feel it, we can interact with it. For our brain, it makes sense. When you're looking for something, you look out there. And we know, we've all heard that we need to look within ourselves because everything is in us, not outside us. And what we find within us actually impacts our outside world. Not so much, or when we do ascend, when we do become more aware, the outside world actually impacts us less and less. And that's difficult. It's not a journey of a week, that's for sure. But I feel in this reading, Spirit is saying it kind of starts this week. And Spirit's bringing me back to how, when I said, you know, the voyage is not outside of you, it's inside of you. And I said that triggers me. Spirit wants me to elaborate on that because I think that's going to help a lot of you and where you find yourself. So I'm triggered by it because I've been on this journey, this voyage, let's say intensely, for the last 2.5, nearly 3 years. And I've made headway, of course I have. And I think, you know, sometimes these readings are to show us, maybe you are where I am at, pole number 1. And this is Spirit's way to show us, hey, you think you haven't come very far, you think you haven't achieved a lot, you think you haven't done very much, because you can't measure it by outside scales, or to where you want it to be, maybe you're nowhere near it, so you feel like you're still at the starting block because you still feel so far away from what you're searching for or longing for or trying to move towards. And I find this journey, pole number 1, is difficult. It really is difficult. And sometimes it's hard to see how it's worth it. But it is worth it. It challenges us in a certain way that makes us question everything. So you'll often hear me saying this in my readings, it has the effect of cracking us open. Now I feel the more walls you've built, the more guarded you are, the more masks you put on, the more controlling you are, the more set in your ways you are, the more you like to push forward and not stop to see what's coming next. The more challenging this journey is. And pole number 1, if you're here, like myself, you embody a lot of the traits that I just mentioned. One way, shape or form, I pretty much had all of them. And there's a sense that the cracking open is what enables us to bloom. It's almost like, pole number 1, you're a tight rosebud, and Spirit is trying to, you know, the rosebud, the petals unfold, they unravel, they open up, and then you've got this rose in full bloom. And there's nothing wrong with the rosebud. But when you have seen a rose in full bloom, it's sad to think that it could just stay in its bud stage. And that is what Spirit says to us. There's nothing wrong with you, pole number 1. And sometimes this journey can make you think that you have to be different. You have to, there's something wrong with you. There's so much you need to change. And yes and no. So the rosebud here is a perfect analogy, because the rosebud doesn't become something different. This is not transformation. This is not the caterpillar becoming the butterfly. This is the rosebud opening up to its full potential. So there's nothing you need to change, pole number 1. There's just that you need to open. Now, what does opening mean? Spirit has just said to me, opening, pole number 1, opening up means that you allow new information to come to you, and you allow information to leave you. So as you open, you become more receptive and you become more giving. As the rosebud opens, there's no guarantee of how each petal is going to be placed. There's no guarantee that all the petals are going to make it. Some of them, as they open up, will fall. And this is the perfect analogy for what you're going through, or for what you're about to go through, or even, my friends, for what you've been through. All our timelines are different. And I really can't do anybody the dishonor of not mentioning that. And there's no difference of if you're at the beginning of this, in the middle of this, or at the end of this. There's a message in here to help you, because when we're at the beginning, there's so many fears and doubts. So Spirit almost wants to let us know, look, my beloved ones, this is what you're going to be going through. When you're in the middle of it, you need courage to keep going. So Spirit is giving you that courage in this reading. And when you're at the tail end, you're exhausted. And you might be thinking, gosh, I haven't seen the results yet. What was all that for? So there's an aspect of why, maybe. What now? Where has all this led me to? So each stage has its excitement and its, oh my gosh, but it also has its, fear, dread, tiredness, uncertainty. Where is this going? And I feel this voyage card for you, pole number 1, is really a reminder that the voyage, I think you've moved, like you're moving in your life. Please don't ever think that you don't. When we have these big internal changes, and I'm talking, pole number 1, they take years. This is not the journey of a month. This is certainly not the journey of a week, not the journey of a few months. This is the journey of years. And it may feel that you're not moving in life. It's almost like, in order to open you up, it's almost like time needs to slow down. For like, it's a beautiful analogy. Going back to the rosebud. If we want to pay attention to the rosebud opening out, we do that. I don't know actually what it's called now. Like the still photography, or where it's in slow motion, but then you can watch it back quite quickly, but you can see it opening up, but it's taken days or weeks maybe to film it, and then you can watch it all in a matter of minutes of the actual opening out. That's what this journey is a little bit like. It can take you years, but you will get to a point, and this is a promise. This is not a maybe, pole number 1. This is a promise. Spirit is saying to me, I promise that you will get to a point where then you will see those years of you blooming, opening up, unraveling who you are, and what it was all for, where it was leading you to. You'll see that with the beauty of hindsight, with the beauty of these, you know, if you were filming it, you'd be able to see it in a matter of minutes of how it has brought you to, or how it is bringing you to something quite magnificent. Out of the mundane and into a new whole way of living your life. Or, thank you, Spirit. Spirit saying the better way of saying that pole number one is of you, the way you are being in your life. So it's the way you are in life. And that brings a whole other level of understanding, acceptance, peace, joy. It adds sparkle to the everyday. We've got this Ascend card. Now, Spirit's just drawn me to the 8. The 8 is the number of personal power. It empowers you. You move then through life empowered. Now, when I say the word empowered, it's got nothing to do with powerful. It's got nothing to do with that you have power over others. In actual fact, this journey helps you let go of control, or at least it helps you realize when you have reverted back to trying to control, trying to push and force things to happen. No, this is your personal power. This enables you to embrace who you are. Flaws and all, my friends. And it helps you move through life in a way that you truly are yourself. My saying is, always shine your inner light, because that is your beacon for your soul tribe, your soul family, your soul partner, and the abundance of life to find you. And that's what this cracking open does. It enables you, look at the light in this card, it enables you to shine your authenticness, your inner light, the truth of who you are, so that opportunities, people, synchronicities find you. So the promise behind this journey from the universe, God, Spirit, your higher self, is that life will flow much more easily. Yes, you will still have challenges. Yes, you will still have contrast, the good and the bad, because one without the other doesn't exist. But the right things come to find you. You live in alignment with your authentic self. So then by doing that, the outside world comes into alignment with you. So then things have a way of falling into place. Faith. Now, if there is one thing you need to harness through this journey, my beautiful pole number one, it's faith. It's trust. The card says, a hopeful heart overflows with light. Faith illuminates the wonder of your unfolding path. The affirmation is, I follow the spiritual spark in my heart. Now, pole number one, I'm going to make that as clear. I think that's pretty clear. I'm going to hold it as steady as I can. Now, please, please take a snapshot. Write it down. Come back to it. Keep telling yourself, I follow the spiritual spark in my heart. because there is a spark in your heart. There is something that you feel you need to follow, even if it doesn't make sense. You probably can't explain it to others because you cannot understand it and explain it to yourself. A hopeful heart overflows with light. Faith illuminates the wonder of your unfolding path. And this is an unfolding path. And do you know what you're looking for? You're looking for you. You're looking for your authenticity. You're looking for your light. And that's not nothing. And I know in the outside world, it feels like nothing. Because it feels like we're giving up all the tangible things of our world and nothing's coming to fill it. When you find you, you'll be amazed at how many things flow to you. You'll be amazed at these new ideas that you get, these new possibilities that come to you. It's mind-boggling. And then that next journey will be of you having the faith and the belief in yourself to follow those ideas, those synchronicities, those opportunities that come your way, to go out and grab them. But you're not there yet. You're finding you. You're opening up, pole number 1. And that is difficult, but it really is beautiful. I love how these colors match as well. On camera, like, they look exactly the same pretty much, but there's slight variations of that purple leaning towards the blues. So very much your crown chakra, your throat chakra. Your throat chakra is not only about speaking, but it's about listening. And remember when I was talking at the beginning of the reading and I said when you open up, it allows you to receive new information, new things, but it also enables you to give. So it's that listening and that hearing. And I feel that's how messages are going to come to you. It'll just be almost like downloads where you're hearing things, and often maybe sometimes you'll say something to somebody and you'll be like, oh, that's what I need to hear. A lot of synchronicities come about when you slow down in this journey. So you've got time travelers, and the card says, you have all it takes to accomplish your dreams. You will naturally attract helpful friends and wise guidance along your way. And the affirmation is, I believe in myself. Another beautiful card for this journey, because this journey you will find people that help you. But initially, you might actually find yourself alone. And I'm not saying that you're all going to become alone, like loners, and there'll be nobody around you. And it's definitely not a lonely feeling. But there might come a time where the people around you, it's almost like you become disconnected. Don't worry about that too much. It's there to show you the people that will stay and grow with you and the people that won't. But it's also there for you to tap into your own voice before you start to listen to other voices. Tapping into your own voice is the biggest lesson here, if you like, for want of a better word. And then once you do that, guidance will come in. Real guidance will come in. My last 6 months have been so beautifully guided by a beautiful, beautiful soul that has helped me see things that I couldn't see. Helped me, this wonderful friend showed me how I was still blocking myself, how I had opened up, but I'd almost put a glass dome over it. And then I was still blocking what I was offering. Maybe less, maybe I was more offering, but I was still blocking what I could receive. I was still full of doubts and fears. But I'm saying, that's pretty much been in the last six months. I've had another beautiful soul that showed me in the beginning of my journey how I didn't listen to myself, you know, and they became the voice that wasn't for me. So then they exited my life, but they showed me how not all people in our lives are there to guide us. You know, I've had the blessing to see both. The guidance that I can listen to and pay attention to, and then there's the guidance that comes, and generally that guidance comes first, because it's the guidance that makes you realize, do you know what, I'm not listening to myself, I'm listening to others, but that's not where I am anymore. I believe in myself. Tell yourself that. You know, maybe you might want to take a snapshot of this as well. I feel these cards, I'm always saying, take a snapshot, take a snapshot. You have all it takes to accomplish your dreams. You will naturally attract helpful friends and wise guidance along the way. I believe in myself. And then we have the Queen of Wands, the Tower, and the Seven of Pentacles. Now I was going to pick up the King of Wands, the Queen of Wands, sorry, and Spirit said no, actually these are to be read simultaneously. It's this opening up. The Queen of Wands embodies that perfectly. She knows who she is. She knows what she wants. She's holding the Ace of Wands. The Ace of Wands is the gift of gift from Spirit, gift of the universe, that is full of your calling, your hopes, your dreams, your passions. What the wands are fire. What gets you fired up? What gets you out of bed in the morning? So she's harnessing that energy. She's also holding sunflower. So she's harnessing the sunflower. The sunflower always moves in the direction of the sun. It follows the sun throughout the day. She's following her inner guidance, her sun, the clarity that is within her. And so this Queen of Wands embodies this opening up, learning about yourself, understanding what you want or what fuels you, and how that changes along the way. Because it will, you can be guaranteed it will. It will be tweaked and it will change and it will come and it'll go, and then it might one day go completely or one day just stay, and that's your path for now. And she's receptive to what the universe offers her. She knows that she will receive what she needs on this journey that she's on. And that leads you to a Tower moment, pole number 1. The Tower moment is realizing all the things that no longer serve you. The voices, the people you've been listening to, that you're no longer on the same path with. Maybe it's what you do, what you believe, your core values. This is a major arcana, so this is the universe stepping in, doing its part. So it's going to help you see what no longer fits in your life. And this is a big step in this journey, because it's when things change in our outer world, that's when we can see how we're changing, what we're doing. And I feel with this Seven of Pentacles, it calls you into question everything that you're doing. The Pentacles are they're the concrete things of our life, you know, they're the tangible things. So this is what you're doing. And this is what you're thinking. This is not your soul, but your thoughts And what you're doing, you're going to call into question because you're changing, you're following your light. And therefore, the outer world is going to change. You are changing because you're going to attract and repel different things than you did before. It's a big path, pole number 1, that you're on. And this week, this message had to come to you this week or whenever you're listening to it, because I think you needed the reminder, or I think you needed the boost, the courage to keep going. The realization, okay, you know what? For some of you, this could be the end of the journey. You might need to embrace this energy of the Queen of Wands. Things have left. You've changed so much. Now you need to be that receptive energy of seeing what comes to you. I'm going to leave you with those messages, my beautiful pole number 1. Love, light and blessings. Take good care of yourselves, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Hello, pole number 2. Welcome, my friends. Let's have a look at what messages Spirit has for you this week. So we have the 2 of Cups, the Emperor, and the Chariot. Wow. We have adventure. Yes, we do with both these energies. And we have the End. That's interesting. We have Dream Tree, and we have Magical 3. This Magical 3, very, very nice. You've got the 2 of Cups and you've got this Magical 3. I'm really drawn to the Magical 3, so I'm just going to start there. Even though this is your overall energy and these are the messages for the week, I've got to start here. So I hope that's focusing correctly for you. Magical 3, help is on the way. The love in your heart attracts your soulmates. Sacred relationships make good things possible. The affirmation is, sacred connections create magic and healing for all. Wow. And that's what I feel with this 2 of Cups. So this could very well be a love reading, pole number 2, or it can just be connections with others, finding your soul family, your soul tribe, finding the right boss, the right colleagues, the right partner in business or in love. But I feel this talks about connections. Help is on the way. And I feel, pole number 2, you really needed to hear that. Because I feel, just with the cards, you've been going it alone, or you've been doing everything yourself, or everything is on your shoulders. Now, whether that's your perception or the reality, it doesn't really matter. Spirit's telling me it doesn't really matter. And Spirit doesn't want you to do it alone anymore. And there's going to be an opening up that will be required for you. So Spirit said leave that there and come to the adventure. You've got adventure. What a beautiful card. Number 5, numerology, number of change, surprises, taking risks and chances. Adventure. That's what an adventure is, isn't it? It's just having nothing booked and just taking a chance. Pole number 2, I feel this week taking a chance is going to really pay off. Taking a chance, now this could be doing a course, applying for a job, employing somebody, going on a date, catching up for a coffee with somebody new. Whatever puts you in the company of others. And I'm not saying people, well, actually, thank you, Spirit. I was going to say not with people that you know, but Spirit said no. It can be with people that you know, because then somebody else might get invited that you don't know. But there's a sense of taking a chance here, taking a risk. Now, we're not talking about taking a risk and catching up with somebody unknown in a secluded place or something. It's nothing like that, pole number 2. It's, taking a chance, like the job that you want to go for, you don't think you're going to get. You think it's above and beyond you. The person you want to employ, or that has caught your eye, is so different than you are. This person that you might agree to go on a date with, their views are different, or their beliefs are different. They could be a different religion to you. They could be a different nationality to you, a different academic or spiritual level than you. I hope you see that message in it. But there's this sense of this adventure takes you somewhere unexpected. And I feel it's really positive, because I feel this connection you're going to have to others or another person. It brings endings. And I really feel the ending is to you going it alone. If this is love, to have somebody to move through life with. If this is your soul tribe, somebody to catch up for a coffee with, talk about your plans, bounce ideas off, go on trips with. If this is a partner in business, somebody to help you. Somebody with different points of views that can actually move things forward for you. And if this is a career, you come into contact with a boss that sees your value, or you come into a job that really challenges you, so it enables you to grow and learn so many new things. This could be you starting a course. And the course, what you're being taught, changes things for you. You might meet people in the course that change the course of your life, because I feel like very much here there's this adventure is a new thing. Okay, we've got to say that adventure is something new, something that doesn't quite turn out as planned, or it's a little bit different than you expected. And I feel that it brings about the end of your solitude, the end of you doing it all. And I feel for some of you, pole number 2, it ends a way of life for you. When you start a new job, you might have to move. You might meet new friends and that are more aligned with you than your old ones. So then you have that shift in dynamics there. You know, if you fall in love, you know, the new partner, you know, your home life will change. So this, the end, it's not endings. It's not, you know, new things, or it's the end. So I feel that this is definite. This is the end of something completely. And it can play out in so many different areas. For some of you, you know, I have to say it because Spirit brought it to my attention, but for some of you, you might be leaving a relationship to start a new one. But the ending is definite. The ending is final. And do you know, I feel that the ending doesn't bring about all the pain and the worry and the uncertainty. It's before you end it that you have that energy. So Spirit's almost saying here, pole number 2, if there's something that needs to end, and it can be something, your values, your beliefs, the way you thought you had to control everything and do everything, where you thought you were headed, with whom. Make the changes sooner rather than later. And the reason why I say that is you've got Dream Tree here. And the card says, let go of worry and give the universe an opportunity to help you. The solution wants to emerge. Relax, as there are many blessings headed your way. And the affirmation is, I gift myself deep restorative rest. Now the universe wants to help you. Let go of worry. The solutions want to emerge. This will be very, very clear, pole number 2. It's not like you'll be umming and ahhing if you want to do this, if the ending is a true ending that needs to come about. No, you know that it is. But there's a sense here with the Dream Tree that you might procrastinate because you don't want to hurt others, or because you're a little bit afraid of the change, or because you're afraid that, I don't know what's going to happen after that. Oh my gosh, you know, when this ends, like, then I'm really out there. And so the worry comes first, pole number 2. The worry comes before the ending. And how long you worry, how long you fret about this, will depend on how long you keep the ending at bay. And Spirit doesn't want you to do that. The ending is a definite. So you could end it in a week, you could end it in 6 months, you could end it in 5 years. The end is destined. And we see that with both the major arcana here. That's the universe stepping in to guide you. And Spirit's just said to me, pole number 2, if it takes you 5 years to end this, that's your journey. There's no judgment. There's no, oh my gosh, what are you doing? Why are you doing this to yourself? That could be your journey. But there's a sense here that I don't think that you'll want it to be that way. I don't think that you'll allow it to be that way. And the reason why I'm saying that is that you have the 2 of Cups. Now this is love, partnership, but this is two very different people coming together in offering. They're receiving from each other and they're offering to each other. And the reason why they dress so differently is because they're very different. So this is what I spoke about at the beginning of the reading. They might have a different religion or a different background, a different nationality, different beliefs. They're different. But the connection is so strong. And I'm seeing here, it's a soul connection. It's a destined connection. Now, that's not to say it lasts forever, pole number 2. Spirit really wants me to say that. Our soul connections can last years, months. You know, it's not, we're so focused on time. Spirit's saying it's not a time thing, it's an impact thing. So don't get caught up on where will this go, I can't see it lasting. Don't even worry about that, pole number 2. In this journey, it's of no consequence. So longevity is not what we're going for here. There's connection. And this is in the now, for however long it lasts. And even if this is not a person, like initially, if this starts you going for a new job, or you starting your own business, or whatever the big change is, if you don't see the other person yet, don't worry, they're coming. Some of you might have the end before this new person can come in. Some people, it's because of this connection that you get the end. And I'm not saying it's all romantic relationships. But this will be somebody that impacts you in a big way. This will be somebody that mentors you, guides you, kind of almost shows you things outside the box, because adventure is that, isn't it? Adventure is kind of like traveling outside the box, traveling where you kind of don't know your next destination. I'm gonna jump on this plane, and when I get there, I'll walk past a hotel that I think, oh, I might stay there. Oh, they're booked. Okay, well, I'll go to the next one. And who knows where it will lead you. That's adventure. You know, you might apply for a job and you don't get that job, but then 2 weeks later the boss, the owner of that company, calls you and says, you know what, you weren't right for that position, I've just opened a new one for you. It's that connection. And not only will they see something in you, you'll see something in them. And it can be purely business, it can be purely friendship, it can be romantic, it can be teacher-student. You know, but there's a real connection there, a real connection. Now the Emperor here is twofold. This helps you tap into a feeling of, I've got this. Wow. Do you know, for all those years, I felt that I could do this. I felt like I could do more, and I felt like, you know, I could be loved. Like I'm a good person. And then I know that we shouldn't allow others to make us see our self-worth. And that's not what I'm saying here. It's like you saw your self-worth, but you kind of were wondering why others didn't. It just took them a little bit of time to find you. When we shine our authentic light, We've got to give the universe a bit of time to align the right people with us, especially when we haven't been shining our authenticity, when we've been camouflaging ourselves and wearing masks and saying what we think people want us to say and being who we think people want us to be. After years and decades of doing that, when we change and we shine our inner light and we become authentic, we become ourselves, it takes a little while for the world to catch up, for the universe to catch up, for things to become aligned with you. So it's not that the other people are now showing you your worth. You see your worth. That is what is creating other people seeing your worth. So you don't change yourself in order to fit in. And that is what is so magical about this reading, and Spirit's just drawn to my attention that the end could be your people-pleasing ways. It could be how you are the chameleon and you change your colors, your shape, your opinions depending on who you're with. It could be the end of not liking yourself, not seeing your self-worth, because it's you sitting in your personal power. It's you seeing your worth, not in an ego, I'm so great kind of, I'm better than others kind of way, but just that I am great just the way I am. I've got flaws, but I'm great, I'm good, I'm worthy, and I love me. That's the Emperor. It's a major arcana. So you are shining your light, and that enables, that's you doing your part in the co-creation of life. You shine your light. Spirit will do its by attracting to you what belongs with you, what fits with you, what's right with you. Not right with you, sorry, right for you. The Emperor is not the Emperor because he's a dictator, because he's controlling. He's an Emperor because he, in himself, knows what he's capable of. He knows his wisdoms and strengths, and those that he doesn't have, where his weaknesses lie, he has counsel. He has others that pick up what he lacks. He doesn't think he knows it all. If he thought he knew it all, the card would say the dictator. It doesn't. It says the Emperor. He's wise. He leads his empire knowing that everybody in that empire is of worth. One person is not better than the other. He's just up the top there because he offers the final guidance. He listens to everything and he makes the final decision. But he doesn't see himself above others. And that's the energy that you're embracing. Suddenly you don't see yourself as better than others. You're not even in competition with others. There's no competition. And that really enables Spirit to align things with you, and also to allow the things that don't belong with you anymore just to flow on down that stream, just to go on their way. And you've got the Chariot. To finish your reading, you have the Chariot. The Chariot denotes speed. But for me, the Chariot, the number one thing is being in alignment with yourself and with all that is. He guides. Okay, sometimes it's horses. There's these things here. He guides them, but he doesn't have reins. They're not tied up. He doesn't control them. He is so in alignment. He knows himself so fully, light and the dark side, good and the bad. And he moves forward like that. He's not at odds with himself. And this is showing that you, pole number 2, are no longer going to be at odds with yourself, or you're no longer at odds with yourself. You can see your flaws, but they're there because they show contrast. Without your flaws, you couldn't see your gifts, your light. So you no longer enable them to bring you down, to make you feel less than, to make you feel unworthy or unlovable. This Chariot is also, because it's a major arcana, it's what Spirit does. How Spirit co-creates this life with us, the part that Spirit plays. And you are in alignment. So now Spirit is in alignment. So we align with ourselves and we align with Spirit. And you'll be surprised at how quickly things come onto your path. And you can just go, thank you, thank you. Let me think on that one, I'm not sure. Because you'll be able to see what is for you and what isn't. You'll no longer look at, oh, if I do that, so-and-so will be so proud. Or if oh, that will make me look real, that would look so good on my resume. I don't want to do it, but it looks so good on my resume. No, pole number 2, you won't do that anymore. Because you're not going to worry about how you look on paper. You're going to worry about how you feel in real life. Does that fit with me? No. Bye-bye. Does that fit with me? Yes. Hello, adventure. Let's go and see where it takes us. This is exciting times, pole number 2. Challenges, yes. Fear, yes. But very, very exciting. I'm going to leave you with those messages, pole number 2. Love, light and blessings. Take good care of yourselves and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Hello, pole number 3. Welcome, my friends. Let's have a look at what messages Spirit has for you this week. So we have the 3 of Swords. We have the 2 of Wands, the Wheel of Fortune. We have Rebirth and Seclusion. We have the Hunter and Posy. That's interesting. Like, just interesting words. So let me just grab the energies. So we've got the overall energies with Rebirth and Seclusion, and then we've got the additional messages with the Oracle and the Tarot. Now, I feel the overall energy is because of this rebirth. You're going to seek a bit of seclusion. You're going to need time out. Okay, so pole number 3 this week, if you just need to get away, and I mean not even like, I mean you could get away, there's like a little cabin in the mountains, but you might just need to lighten your schedule. This might be a week where you need to say no to people, and where you might really just want to be, I just got an image of being curled up with a book or sitting in the garden, but there's this sense of the need to isolate yourself a little bit, the need to step back from things, the need to find your own space, your own time. And I feel it's because of this rebirth. Now, I'm really getting the feeling that for some of you, this rebirth has happened. So I'm kind of feeling you're in the aftermath, if you like, of some real change. And you just need to take stock. You need a minute to kind of grasp what's going on, to kind of digest, if you like, what's happened. Now, this rebirth could have impacted your outside world, or it could just be you and how you're feeling. You might just be feeling like, oh my gosh, I just don't know anything anymore. I don't know what I want. I don't know what I like or what I don't like. I just don't want to have to face things. There's this sense of not wanting to face things. And Spirit is telling me, pole number 3, that is perfectly fine. That is the energy that you need to go with. That is the energy that you need to embrace, not fight. It's so important this week, pole number 3, that you don't fight how you're feeling. That you don't try to kick yourself up the backside and go, come on, just go do something. The kinder you can be with yourself, the more easily and the more quickly this will pass. Because whether you can see it or not right in the now, something big has just happened. Now, obviously, if something big has happened in your life, you'll see that, of course you will. But if it's a big change within you, it might take a little bit longer to go, what's wrong with me? And it's your mind, your body, your emotions that are kind of trying to come to terms with how you've changed, who you are now. A rebirth is not easy. And we think that the actual rebirth part is the hardest. But sometimes the aftermath can be harder, because we're kind of left there, we're kind of left with our hands open wide, kind of going, okay, wow. And then it's like, well, what now? What do I do with this? What does this mean? What does this lead to? And so there's a sense that, and I feel with the Wheel of Fortune here, the universe is going to help you go to a space where you've really got time to acknowledge, you've really got time to almost reconcile what's happened. I see it, accept it, and really embrace this new you that has emerged, or this new, sometimes I think it can be misleading when I say a new you, but it's almost like it's not a new you, it's a, you're tapping into yourself in a new way. You're seeing the world in a new way. You're seeing yourself in the world in a new way. Maybe you're seeing the universe, the all that is, in a new way. And it takes us a little bit of time to kind of go, okay, well, what do I do with all that? Like what does that mean? Like, how do I apply that? And this rebirth, Spirit is telling me, could have actually had things change in your outer world. And so sometimes we need to give ourselves time to grieve, to heal. Sometimes the thing that we're grieving and healing from is the loss of the identity that we had. You know, we could have been, you know, we give ourselves lots of labels. When those labels don't fit anymore, it's kind of like, well, what am I now? Like, who am I now? This rebirth, I feel for you, and we've been getting this card a little bit lately, but I feel like it's really, really impacted you. Like I feel like it's had a really big effect on you. So even if the effect hasn't pitted through your life yet, it hasn't filtered through to your outer world yet, it's had such a big impact on you that your outer world doesn't look the same to you anymore. There's a real sense with this seclusion card, you need to recenter yourself. You need to, this was grand, this was life-changing, this was really impacted you, this rebirth. And now it's kind of like, now it's like the excitement has maybe passed, the wonder is lessening, and maybe it's been replaced by fears and doubts and, oh my gosh, things are starting to change. So there's this time of just allowing yourself to be. I really feel in your reading, pole number 3, the messages that Spirit is giving me with this Wheel of Fortune. I feel like you just need to breathe. You just need to allow, because I feel like things are kind of going to happen a little bit on their own. And you don't need to try and control the outcome, or you don't need to try and guess what this is all going to mean or how this is going to change your life. That's not where Spirit is guiding you, pole number 3. Spirit is guiding you to just go, right, wow. And to kind of ask yourself questions now about yourself. What does this mean? What have I just been through? How do I feel now? And I mean literally, pole number 3, writing those questions down. So rewind the video, write those questions down and sit and answer them. And keep coming back to it and keep seeing how does that change time and time again. Because there's a sense here of, you know, the phoenix rises up in this ball of flames, and it's a rebirth, it's a transformation, it is the complete ending of what was, like the caterpillar. The caterpillar exists no more when the butterfly arrives. That's the same with the phoenix. And it's kind of like it's life-changing. So that, for a human, can have multiple different effects, but they boil down to 2 groups. One that will just be like, oh my God, I've got to change everything, and they just run around and they just destroy everything in their life. And then the other group that will go, no, 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 I'm holding on to everything. And of course they're at each extreme, and there'll be, you know, different levels of that within each group. And that's why this seclusion card is so important, pole number 3, because this seclusion card means give yourself time to think. Give yourself time to assimilate what has happened, what you've been through. Ask yourself questions. When you worry, when you become afraid, what are you worrying about? What are you afraid of? They will be clues on what's going on within you now, because this rebirth, pole number 3, means you no longer think like you used to. You no longer almost know what you used to. You don't want to do what you've always done. You don't want to be where you've always been. There's this sense of, I just want to throw this out and get a new life. And that's, for some of you, you literally will want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. And for then another group, that frightens you so much that you will try to hold on to everything, even though your first desire is to change everything. Spirit's bringing me to the tarot. A rebirth is amazing. A rebirth is exciting. It makes you feel like you've got a new lease on life. It generally will bring you new goals and new desires and new wishes. It'll bring you new callings and new paths, new journeys. And it's exciting, but it's also overwhelming. And I think the 3 of Swords is here in your reading, pole number 3, because there's this sense of wanting to follow your heart, but almost being too scared to. I'm seeing this 3 of Swords as like your mind kind of saying to your heart, I don't think so. Where have you come from? And where's the logic behind this? What's the reasoning behind this? What are you trying to do? And so the mind is freaking out, and the heart is trying to move forward. The heart has opened. The heart is out there now, and it doesn't want to be put back in its box. And initially what can happen is our mind kind of jumps onto both energies. So our mind will be attracted by the heart. And it'll be like, yes, I can do this and I can do that, and imagine this and imagine that. And then the mind will go into a bit of a spin. And it'll say, actually, no, I don't think so. That's a bit scary. Or, no, now that I think about it, the heart's a bit too out there. The heart, like, yeah, there's no logic behind it. There's no reasoning behind it. I'm going to say that to people and they're going to laugh at me. They're going to think, oh my God, have you lost your mind? And your mind will flick between these 2 scenarios that it plays out for you. And a rebirth can actually make you feel like you've lost your mind. The things that, you know, you might have a job that you have always loved, brings you good money, you know what you're doing, and you're going to throw it away. You might have the same in a relationship, a place, all of the above. My rebirth took everything away. Because, now that's not to say that that's what's going to happen to you, pole number 3, but I was so out of alignment that everything did need to leave for me. And you know, this takes time. And life changes slowly afterwards. So this impacts your present life the most and in the biggest way. And then gradually after that, you begin to learn who you are and what you want. So first, I think with Spirit saying with this 3 of Swords, the first thing after this awakening, because I do really believe, pole number 3, you've just had this awakening. Like you're literally right in it, and it's there. The rebirth has happened. You're awake and you're like, uh-oh, what? Give yourself time and space. So important. Allow what you're feeling. Allow them to be. Don't fight them. There's almost a certain sense here that it's important not to run with either of them just yet. Allow them to be. And the reason why I say that is because we've got the 2 of Wands next. This energy is the turmoil that comes after a rebirth. That turmoil is not without its reasons. The turmoil is there to show you how much you've changed. If you have a rebirth, poof, and it was like, oh, and then everything's just calm and hunky and nice and chilled, there's almost this sense that then you just go back to do what you were doing. That's not a rebirth. The rebirth packs a punch because it's what wakes you up. It gives you a shake. The 2 of Wands, possibly my most favourite card in the tarot. I say possibly, but it is. It is. It's my most favourite card of the tarot. If I ever pull this card for me, I get a giddiness and an excited, and I think, oh yes. Because the 2 of Wands basically shows that there's been evolution on your path, in you. You've changed. Things have changed. And now you're kind of looking out going, right, with what I have learned, with who I am now, this person that is standing here, right here in the now, knowing what I know, not what I want to learn, but knowing what I know now, with everything that has happened behind me, but that's behind me, what do I want for myself now? The world is my oyster. What do I want? Where do I want to see my life going? What do I want in my life? What do I want to let go of? This is, to me, a beautiful energy of that beginning process of dreaming your life into being. It's not to say that that's what's going to happen, but this energy gives you a clue on what you really want. It gives you a clue on where you want to go. Now, the Wheel of Fortune's next. Major Arcana, this is spirit, this is the universe, this is God. So the universe might have other plans for you, my friends. But this is the perfect card that embodies your seclusion and it embodies your rebirth. It's basically saying you are a new person now. You are different. Take that time to see where you want to go. Not get fixated, not get controlling, but just to go, what do I want in my life now? I want more like-minded people. I want to do what I love. I want to find the person of my dreams. I want to find that beautiful soul romantic connection. I want to travel to somewhere and live somewhere I've never been before. I don't want my life to be anything like it used to be. I want, fill in the blank, my friends. Pole number 3, this is daydreaming. This is probably daydreaming first because you've got endless possibilities. It's almost like you're being given a clean slate. No, you have given yourself a clean slate. Thank you, Spirit. You have given yourself a clean slate. What do you want to see come in now for you? Because the following card is the 3 of Wands. That's your ships coming in. What do you want to see come into your life now? Now, after a rebirth and this seclusion, it's so important that you take the time to figure out this kind of feeling, because the more aligned you are with your authentic self, the more fate will bring you what you've hoped for. Because your hopes, your wishes, your dreams, your goals will be aligned with your authentic self. Therefore, aligned with all that is, the universe. Because Spirit's here saying that fate is turning the wheel. So things are going to be leaving that no longer resonate, and things are going to be coming in. The universe hates a void. If you create a gap, it might take time. It might take hit and misses, but that void will eventually be filled with something that is so much better for you. That getting into that alignment is super important. And this Wheel of Fortune in your reading, pole number 3, is basically Spirit saying, I've got your back. This hasn't happened just to flip your world and yourself inside out and upside down and backwards and forwards. There is meaning behind it. There's growth behind it, and there's a new life for you behind it. And it is fated. It is meant to be. We have the Hunter. Afraid of the chase. Unafraid of the chase. Tiger knows when to grab an opportunity and when to wait patiently. Trust your sense of timing and go for it. And the affirmation is, I go for what I love with gusto. There is a time of seeing what you want. So the tiger knows what it wants. The tiger knows what to chase. That's this energy. And then it knows when to grab an opportunity and when to wait patiently. And that's kind of like the Wheel of Fortune. That's fate. There is a sense of the tiger cannot chase if there's not a deer that goes by or whatever they chase. You know, the prey has to be there in order for the chase to be. Sometimes there's just no prey there. And that's the same with you. So sometimes you just have to know when to be patient and when to go for it. I love this card in your reading. I go for what I love with gusto. And I feel that when you are aligned, when you know what you want, what this rebirth has created in you, the space, the new understanding, the new desires for different things. Once you understand that, then you won't be afraid of the chase, because you know what to chase. You'll know what opportunities are yours, and you'll know which ones don't resonate. And you'll understand that we co-create with spirit. So sometimes we just need to wait for spirit to bring everything into alignment. When we are ready, it will come. And if it hasn't come yet, there's an aspect of you that isn't ready. And we have Posy. Offer your concerns to the universe, and they will become pathways for healing and creative solutions to enter your life. The affirmation is, something better, beautiful, and blessed is budding. That's this energy. It's almost like really see what you want that is in alignment with you now, because this is also seeing what dreams you no longer want to do, what no longer resonates with you, kind of where you're moving now. And know that you co-create with spirit. So know that you're not doing this all on your own. You don't have to make everything happen. And know that a rebirth always brings us to a better place. Maybe not initially. It takes time, because we are filled with fear, and we have that humanness part of us that is limited and does worry and does get unsure of the unknown. But offer your concerns to the universe, and they will become pathways of healing and creative solutions to enter your life. Tell spirit, pray, meditate. Say, I don't know. Show me. It's very interesting energy, because there's so much energy of healing, of moving forward, even though you probably haven't taken a step yet, pole number 3. And you're like right, like coming to the edge where you take that leap of faith into a whole new life. Some things from your past life will probably follow you. Sometimes, like I said earlier with myself, nothing did. And that's okay. It doesn't matter how much changes or how much doesn't change. That you almost don't instigate that change. It kind of almost happens on its own. And the most important thing is to give yourself time to go with what is falling away, to go with what is still there but changing, deepening, altering in some way. Wow, pole number 3. Give yourself time. This is massive. I'm going to leave you with those messages, my friends. Love, light, and blessings to you. Take good care. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Hello, pole number 4. Welcome, welcome. Let's have a look at what messages Spirit has for you this week. They've been quite big messages, actually, quite powerful, profound. You have the Ace of Swords, Strength, and the Lovers. Gosh. Well, I know who's playing a big part in your week this week. The universe. We have Past and Independence, Nandi, and Whirlwind. Interesting. Do you know, I just had take your foot off the medal. Take your foot off. I got the words take your foot off the medal, meaning take your foot off the pedal. Like just take it off, take your foot off the acceleration. I feel here this week, and it will have a flow-on effect. Pole number 4, do it, don't do it, like it, don't like it, see it, don't see it. None of it matters, because you are not in the driving seat this week. You are not in control. You even the images that I get sometimes make me laugh, even though it's not really funny, but I literally saw somebody grasping like onto a pole, and I was going to say, even if you're holding on tight, and then the pole literally just vanished. So it's like this person's holding on to nothing. It's like if you're holding on to something, Spirit will take whatever you're holding on to out of your life, turn it to dust, and you'll be left holding on to nothing. It's almost like Spirit is doing a sweep, and you're going with it. And I really think, and pole number 4, I say this with so much love in my heart, but whether you like it or not, there is a sense of inevitability. I'm not saying that 100% right. I don't know. I get so tongue-tied sometimes, so please forgive me, my friends. It's I don't know why. I can hear the word perfectly in my brain, and then when it comes out my mouth, it gets distorted. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because I speak French as well, so I don't know if it's the 2 languages, and sometimes my brain gets caught up between both. I don't know, maybe that's a good excuse, but I get tongue-tied. But there is a sense of inevitability, and I'm just not going to get it right, but you know what I mean, pole number 4, and bless you for going with me, and have a chuckle if you want to. I don't mind at all. I'm just sort of asking Spirit, okay, after that very bossy kind of message, where to next? And I'm kind of being called to the Independence card. So we have your overall energy is past and independence, and then we have the Oracle and Tarot as extra information. Spirit just said to me, what you see as you being independent is actually being controlling. And independence actually means something very different. So I'm just waiting for more messages to come through after that, but I think Spirit wants us to kind of pause on that. Independence is not about doing it alone, doing everything for yourself. Spirit here is saying that independence is knowing that you can do everything for yourself. But if you have those around you that can help, like if you have somebody there, you can let them help. So independence, Spirit is telling me, cannot be used as the word assertive. It cannot be used as no, sorry, did I get that back at the front? Yes. So independence is not the same as assertiveness. It is not the same as control. When you want to do everything for yourself, by yourself, it's more being assertive. It's more being, Spirit is saying, controlling. Now, Spirit is saying, if there's nobody there, then yes, you have to do it yourself. That's completely different. We're not talking about that. But there's a sense here of, you're saying, I'm just independent, when in actual fact, it's you want to do it your way because that's the way it has to be done. You don't want somebody else's input because they'll probably put their spin on it, and you don't want that. You want full control of outcome, and because you want to be in the driver's seat. So there's a sense here that your need to do things your way, pole number 4, is not going to happen this week. Now, Spirit's telling me there's going to be a lot of road bumps for those of you that go, no, I'm going to make it happen. Spirit just said, don't do that to yourself. I don't know if some of you, that message has triggered you, because Spirit's just said to me to ask viewers to please stick around, because they'll see why this energy you don't want to embrace. And it's in the tarot, which I will get to the minute I've gone back through the past, but please stick with me. This card, along with this independence and what we've just spoken about, is very much that the way you used to do things, the way that you see the world, the past you. There is a sense here that you've probably been a person that has been able to get their own way in the past, because you forge a path, you make things happen. You know, people are happy to follow you because you have good ideas. You have leadership qualities. But there's a sense that the past is not going to help you here. The past way of doing things, the way things happened before is not how they're going to happen now. There's a sense that this firm, self-assuredness, let's say it as it is, controlling, probably even perfectionism, those energies this week especially, but I think it'll pitter through on longer, Spirit's just saying no. Now, I even found myself hesitating when I said the no. It's like, oh, because I think, you know, if we're honest with ourselves in different areas of our life or in different times of our life, we have really embraced this energy. So let's say it as it is. Let's be at least honest with ourselves. Spirit is actually bringing you something quite magical, pole number 4. And the overall energy is one that shows the potential of you blocking this. Now, Spirit just said what is meant for you will always come to you. When we are not open, it's not that we so much miss opportunities, though we kind of do. We kind of extend the time that things would normally come to us. You know, if we never doubted, if we lived in complete alignment, if our souls were here rather than our physical minds and body, you would think of something and you'd manifest it like that, because there'd be no barrier. There'd be no doubt. There's just certainty and alignment. But we have this human body and this human mind that does have limits, that does put up barriers. And that's why we don't manifest like our pure soul could. I mean, our soul, before it even finished thinking of what it wanted, it would be there right in front of it. And in a way, thank goodness, as humans, we don't do that, because imagine of all the stuff that you think about, imagine if that all presented itself in front of you. Ooh, you know, when we are really in a downward spiral state and we're not happy, gosh, imagine all the things we think about. We don't want those manifesting. So I guess it works for and against us, doesn't it? But look at this tarot. And Spirit's asked me to give you the general rundown and then go into the individual cards. You've got a gift from the universe in this Ace of Swords, and it's a clear moment. It's a message. It's an idea. It's a download. That you will need courage and strength to move forward on, but it leads to something filled with love. That you love. Like, I'm seeing this like a beloved, a dream come true. The Ace of Swords, like I said, is a gift from the universe. The swords is our mind, our intellect, our wisdom, the knowledge that we have. It's also communication. It's an air, it's, you know, ruled by the air. And so it's communication, listening, talking, messages, emails, that kind of thing. So there's this idea that's going to come to you. And I think like the air sign, you know, like the air that is behind this, the swords, it comes out of thin air. And the sword is crowned, it has potential, it's valuable. And so you're going to get this insight, this idea, this download, this message, this correspondence. And I feel that in this energy, it's probably going to trigger you a little bit. So Spirit's giving me or asking me to give examples so you can see. So this could be that suddenly your boss has said to you, oh, I'm going to employ somebody to come in and help you. And your first reaction is going to be, I don't need help. I can manage. Oh my gosh, he doesn't think I can, or he or she or whatever, they don't think I can cope. What? And you're going to feel your ego is actually going to get a little bit bruised. So there's something in this. An idea might come through. You might have your own business. And the idea basically shows you that what you've been doing was not probably the best idea, and you're going to feel a little bit like, well, I've been in business now 10 years and this idea is not going to get the better of me. Do you know what I mean? Like, and as I say that, it feels silly, but when we are triggered, it does bring things up, and it'll have to do with the past. So you've been doing something for a while, somebody or an idea or a message or a download will actually have you thinking, oh, I've been doing it wrong, or they don't think I can do it, or I'm not good enough. The Strength card is here. Now this is a major arcana. And the major arcana is how Spirit co-creates life with us. It's the part that Spirit plays. So here Spirit is saying to you, pole number four, there's a real strength that is required to look at yourself honestly and truthfully. Remember at the beginning of the reading I said, you like really let go of the notion that you've got to do it all on your own. Because you are probably looking at needing help or changing things as like you've been getting it wrong, you're not good enough. If people think I need help, that means I'm not managing, so they don't think very highly of me. Spirit's actually here to show you, or this situation is here to show you, pole number 4, how strength doesn't mean that you have got everything 100% on your own. Strength doesn't mean that you can do everything by yourself. Strength means that you can face every situation that comes in front of you. You'll have the strength to do it. If you find yourself, that's it, there's nobody around, it's my idea or nothing, you'll have strength to move forward on that. But you will also have the strength to ask for help, to be vulnerable. You realize you don't always have to be strong. You don't always have to be on top of your game. Because whatever this is, when you take a moment, when you kind of step back from yourself and let your ego kind of quieten down a little bit, it's actually exactly what you need. And if you are honest, there's a little part of you that is growing that is actually quite happy that this has come about. But there's this sense of, I could have done it. I could have done it on my own, or nobody's telling me that I'm wrong. There's this, the ego is at play here. Now, it's very interesting that the Lovers came out and not the Devil. Because the Devil shows our ego. It shows our habits, our addictions, ways in which our ego gets the better of us, ways in which we cut off our nose to spite our face almost. You would rather do all the work yourself and be like, yep, see, I can manage, I can cope, I've got this covered. Rather than go, you know what, this workload is massive. Oh, thank you so much. I'd love somebody to help. I'd love to be able to do this job with somebody and nut these things out and be able to do my hours and then go home, not do all this overtime and that. The Lovers is here, not the Devil, because that's what you're going to find. You don't have a say in this. And that's what I said at the very beginning. And this week, something comes in, and whether you like it or not, it's here. The new idea can't be unthought. The message or whatever's happening is not just going away. Spirit has brought this for you. And the Lovers here, because it's so good. And if you could just step back, not take whatever it is personally, you'll see just how amazing this is. Now, this can be criticism, constructive, but it'll be constructive. But you could hold on to it if you're in this energy of, why am I getting criticized? Why suddenly is everybody telling me what a bad job I'm doing? It's not. If you really look at it objectively, it's constructive criticism. If that's how it's coming through, because this is a general reading. But at the end, it changes something. And I'm seeing the Lovers here as in, it changes it on a level where it gives you better health, better connections. You have time to do more things that you love. You're more in alignment with who you are. You're more aligned with spirit. There's this sense that this situation, it's not one that you can allow or disallow. It's kind of out of your hands. But it shows you sometimes to what extent we believe something to be the worst thing that can happen and it ends up being the best. That's this scenario. That's this week, pole number 4. You are literally, whatever this is, you are literally like, ugh. And you are, like, it makes you, angry might be too much of a harsh word, like too hard. It could just frustrate you. It could just make you feel, but it really tugs at your ego. It's very ego based. It's almost like, you know, before we start evolving and awakening, and, you know, we're very much in our ego. It's me. It's all about me. And it is to a certain extent. But this is the energy where we take everything so personally. And we can't see the light that we're being guided towards. It's like, I didn't put that light there, so I'm going to disregard it. It's almost that kind of energy. But this is beautiful. You will, and I think very, very quickly, I feel that you will just be going, oh my gosh, and this made me so mad. It was so good. I'm so glad. I'm so glad I couldn't say no. I'm so glad I couldn't walk away. I'm so glad it was just that. And then we have Nandi. Magical white bull brings divine protection, messages and healing. Keep moving forward. You are on the right path. And the affirmation is, I walk my path with curiosity, openness, and trust. All the opposite of what we were talking about before. I walk my path with curiosity, openness, and trust. It's the opposite of controlling. It's the opposite of thinking you know best. It's the opposite of pushing things away and being closed off. And it says, magical white bull brings divine protection, messages, and healing. And that can be spirit, God, the angels, your guides, your higher self. That's this. It brings you something. And it can, general reading, so it could be any number of things for any of you, but the energy, the message, the understanding, the moving forward behind it is the same for all of you. Keep moving forward. You are on the right path. This thing that happens is not bad. Oh, pole number 4. If you could just hear that. And then we end the reading with whirlwind. Destiny is at play in your life right now. Let change happen. In time, all will settle into peaceful order. The affirmation is, I trust the divine schedule that gets things moving. Now, I'm going to hold both of these up because I think this is going to be such a good reminder for you, pole number 4. I'll just try and hold it as clearly. I know the Nandi one is not very clear, but I'm going to hold them as clearly as I can, as steady as I can. And if you want to take a snapshot, because read this over and over and over again this week, my friends, or whenever you come across this message. I walk my path with curiosity and openness. I walk my path with curiosity, openness, and trust. I trust the divine schedule that gets things moving. This will be a whirlwind, because this is going to literally knock the air out of you, and you're just going to be, I just got the word livid. You're just going to be like, what? You're going to be really annoyed, because you're going to take whatever this is really personally, and it's going to really hit you right in the ego. Destiny is at play in your life right now. Let change happen. In time, all will settle into peaceful order. Not just peaceful order, my friends, but things are going to change and happen. And the Lovers is here in a way that you could never have made happen on your own. In a way you would never have dreamt it could happen. Whatever comes in this week, pole number 4, allow it. Just be curious. Go, okay, then I'm just going to wait and see. Okay, what is this? What does it mean? Let's see how we go. That kind of acceptance and energy will have this week going really, really well for you. Dig your heels in and get all... Spirit just said to me, uppity about it. The outcome will still be the same, my friend. Spirit really wants you to know that, but it'll be a much more difficult week where you really call into question yourself and your self-worth. And that's not what this is about at all. Not what this is about. Not at all, my friends. Trust. Wow, pole number 4. If you're so inclined, please leave me a message. I'd love to know what this is about. Love, light, and blessings, pole number 4. Take good care of yourselves, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.